Hi, Writing for Children, Lesson 12. Here we go, new week. Are you ready? Okay, so we're starting the Marrow Thieves, Sherry DeMoline's book. Look, mine is signed by Sherry DeMoline. Can you see it? Lucky me. Okay, so I hope you loved the book. I loved it. I have to say that I read it in French because I did it for RadCan as one of my books for teenagers. So in a way, I'm doing it over with you now that I'm reading it in English. Okay, so I thought I'd look at, because often people would skip this kind of thing, the epigraphs at the beginning of the book. So there are quotes. One is from William Burroughs. He was like a kind of in the beatnik period, Burroughs. The way to kill a man or a nation is to cut off his dreams. The way the whites are taking care of the Indians, killing their dreams, their magic, their familiar spirits. So it makes you wonder, is this where Sherry DeMoline got the idea from of, you know, of taking away this, like the people who lose their ability to dream, and now they want to, reversing it, now they want to get it from the indigenous people. Notice that we have the word Indians there, eh? We don't use that anymore. Certainly was the word when I was a kid. And the second one comes from another writer, Cormac McCarthy, famous book called The Road, which I never read, but my daughter read it and loved it. When you've nothing else, construct ceremonies out of the air and breathe upon them. So this idea that we somehow need ceremonies, and what do people do to create them anew? Okay, so I thought what I would do today is very simple because it's what I would do in the classroom with you. I'm just going to read you a little bit of the book, okay, just to have a taste. And I'm waiting for you guys to be posting your group work to the answers that I asked you about. Okay, Frenchie's coming to story. Mitch was smiling so big his back teeth shone in the soft light of the solar-powered lamp we'd scavenged from someone's shed. Check it out. He held a bag of Doritos between us, a big bag too. Hey, this, when you're thinking about what I was reading to you last week, this ending, you really don't know what's coming when you get this, eh? The Doritos, this guy, Mitch, like what's going on here exactly? It's a real like surprise what's going to happen. Holy Mitch, where'd you get that? I touched the air pressurized bag to confirm it was real. My dirty fingers skittered across the shiny surface like skates. It was real. My mouth filled with spit, and a rotten hole in one of my molars yelled its displeasure. Things aren't good, right? This rotten hole in his molars. In the last house back there, hidden on top of the cupboard like Ma used to do when she didn't want us getting into stuff. Mom had only been gone a few months, so talking about her still stung. My brother popped the bag to cover our hurt. Oh, good line. And like cheese-scented fireworks, that loud release of air and processed dust cheered us up. We were in a treehouse somewhere on the outer rim of a small city that had long been closed down like a forgotten convenience store. We were a few hours out from southern metropolitan city, which used to be Toronto back when there were still so many cities that each had a unique name instead of a direction. West City, Northeast Metropolis, Southern Township. Okay, I'll stop there because I want to discuss a few things. One thing, and I wonder if we've really ever talked about it in class. Class feels like a long time ago, doesn't it? The child alone. That's a very, very common theme in children's literature. And now he's with his brother, but you know from the book, he's not going to remain with his brother, right? And he's going to be alone for a while, but to not have your parents with you. This is like even the movie Home Alone, right? Harry Potter, who's like orphaned early on in the book. So the notion of the child alone, we're going to get that a lot. There's a lot of orphans, Anne of Green Gables. That's very common in children's literature. And I guess it forces the story to be about this kid making his or her way in the world. I love some of those lines in the book. The one that I read you, my favorite, my brother popped the bag to cover our hurt. Just gorgeous, right? Like you wouldn't expect it, which is what makes it so beautiful. And then I wanted, this is perfect because I'll take another minute to talk to you. But if you want to do something like a fantasy or set in the future, that it's something that's called world building, and you may know about this already. But if you're going to create like another universe, you have to give it some thought. Like, what's going to happen to the city names? What are they doing? What are they eating? What's the transportation? So it's almost like you have to, like when I do historical, I have to really go into the world of what was going on in the internment camp in China, right? So if you go into an imaginary world, you have to ask yourselves the same questions. It's almost like you have to draw a visual map, right? So it's not just who are my characters, it's like, what are they doing here? What's the date? How are they living? And like I said, what are they eating? How are they getting around? How are they communicating? What are the names of the cities? Are there cities? What's going on? Okay, we're almost at 6 minutes. Talk to you tomorrow. Okay, have a good beginning of the week. Hey, get going on those answers. I'm checking your forum. I didn't see much happening today. Sorry I turned the phone around. Now I hope I didn't make you dizzy.